Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Lands of Lore, the Throne of Chaos. And when last we left off, as you can see from this map, we have completely explored the entire of the city of Yvel. We have gone into every single place that we can go in, we have looted absolutely everything that we can loot, and most importantly, we have sold everything that we do not need to Victor, who, as we have seen, is totally trustworthy, because after all, why would we have any reason to suspect anything? With that out of the way and visiting Jaren, who was as helpful as ever, let's go, because we need to go back to the White Tower one more time. After all, we have an elixir to make, because we need to go and actually save King Richard. We won't be able to do that if we don't have that elixir, and it's a good thing that the shroud that was made to protect King Richard from the thing that was killing him is still working, even though he's currently apparently in Castle Samaria, which I might add, we cannot currently get to at all. But I'm sure that will change in the future. We're back at the White Tower. Unfortunately, there's all of our stuff that we left here from before. And there's also that scroll that we have no reason to hold on to. We have a little bit of inventory management that we need to do now. What we need to do now is we need to basically organize everything. Because we still have a few more things that we want to hold on to. We also want to hold on to all of these potions. But more importantly, we want all of these oil flasks. The oil flasks still have one particular purpose, and that's one area that we'll be coming to pretty shortly, where it's basically the last time we'll need to use the oil flasks. Once we've got past that area, that's pretty much it. The oil flasks cease to be really useful at that point, and will just be something that we have. And realistically, we don't want to hold on to things that we're just holding on to for the reasons of having them, so we'll probably let the oil flasks go at that point. After all, we might need more inventory space. Because hey, look at all these salves that we have just lying around. We most certainly have been doing quite well on keeping all of these healing items. And these basil cups. And here are some more oil flasks. We have a lot of oil flasks. In fact, I think these are more oil flasks than I've ever had in this game at any one point. This is a lot of oil flasks. Here are some more healing items. Here are the wand of fireballs that we've been holding on to. The ebony staff, and these various aces. We're going to hold on to all of these aces. Each one of these is very, very useful. In fact, I think we're already starting to run out of inventory space again. Yep, we're pretty much out already. Fortunately, we're going to be getting rid of a few items in a moment. For now, however, there are a few more places we can go here. There's there, and I think no floor 2 has nowhere we can open. So we're going to head down to this final area that we haven't yet been to, which involves heading not this way, no, that just heads up. It involves going this way, I believe. Okay, not that way, but I think around. There we go, because there is one more thing we haven't done, and that's down there, and that's actually making the elixir in question that we need to make. But we don't actually have anything to store what we're going to make the elixir in. That is what this area is for. The only place in this place that has a key. That's not one of the mystic keys. It leads downstairs. There are no actual enemies down here. There is, however, a puzzle. Welcome to the tower's sub-level. I have never to this day known what that scream was for. But it's there. Here is a niche. It appears to serve no purpose. For now.
Face your greed.
Indeed. Let's have Kieran say it.
Face your greed.
And finally, let's have Bakata say it.
Face your greed.
I think he says it the best. Here are loads of items, like this dwarvish horseshoe, and this saber cougar, and this dwarvish helm. But most importantly, there's this wand of death. Now you may be wondering what it means by face your greed. What it means is there's a bunch of niches and alcoves here. What we're meant to do is something quite counterproductive, but pretty easy to figure out. we're meant to put all these items in these alcoves and basically give them up. They're nice items, we most certainly want them, but we're not allowed them right now, I'm afraid. So we're basically going to, give them up. There we go. And with that, they all vanish. We've given up some very nice items there, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it. Here, by the way, is a door. I do believe we should have a key for this. Alternatively, I might have gone and actually not picked up the key, or not held on to the key, which actually might be something a little more worrying. Unless I have, unless I can lockpick this. I don't think I can.
There is no way to pick this
Nope.
lock.
I need to go back and get a key. That is really bad. Where did I leave a key? Ah, by the way, all the items are right there. That's basically to reward you for being so, basically self-sacrificing in terms of the items. But I'm down a key. I need that key, and I cannot remember where that key was placed. Where did I put that key? That's kind of bad. I've got to remember where I put that final mystic key. And I'll be back one moment while I figure that out. Because if there's one thing I don't want to have happen, it's for me to have lost that key forever. One moment. And we are back. Apologies for that, but I now remember where I actually left that mystic key. I actually checked one of the previous videos, and I remember now that I left it right at the entrance. But I left it a little off from the other piles of stuff. That was some clever thinking from past me there, to put it somewhere where it wasn't that difficult to recover it. Because imagine, for instance, if I'd have left that, say, on the 3rd floor of the White Tower. Just left it there because I didn't think I'd need it. I'd have to fight through all those wraiths and apparitions all over again. For now, however, we need to go and put this key where it needs to be. The last key we need. And let us see what is beyond here. If memory serves, we're going to be talking to someone.
Take this crucible, for ye are true of heart. Place it upon the altar di Blanca to receive the ingredients for the elixir.
It's very handy that she knew what we needed. Also, it's very handy that this thing is exactly what we need to make the elixir.
Wonderful. We're making good progress now.
It's a very odd receptacle for an elixir, but I will accept that it is exactly what we need. Because we found the place, and in fact know the place, where we need to make this elixir. While we're here though, let's take these things. Here is a saber cougar. It is, in fact, worse than all of the weapons that we currently have. But hey, we can sell it. In fact, Mikado is currently asleep. Oh wait, he's awake now. The Dwarvish Helm, which if memory serves, is just worse than all the things that we currently have. Also, we don't have any room right now. We'll leave the rest of them, because we're going to be making some inventory space in just a moment. We're going to go and make the elixir, which is a handy thing, because that's kind of what we've been working towards all this time. This is also the last time we're actually going to be in the White Tower. Here we go! This place had no purpose, right up until now, where we place the Crucible of Faith where it needs to be.
Ah, this is certainly ready to make the elixir.
Yep, it certainly is. Let's even put them in the order that the Droracle had told us about them. It doesn't matter what order you put them in, I think. We could put anything in there, but I don't think it'll accept anything that's not what it needs to be. For instance, we could try put the sword in.
Apparently, only the correct ingredients will be accepted.
I like the idea that you're trying to put the sword in and it's just repelling all efforts. But anyway, here we go. First, we had to butcher the creature whose flesh had never lived.
Excellent. It seems to know what it wants.
It does indeed. Then, we tasted the sweetness of our enemy. The third ingredient we did indeed collect from the deadly depths. And lastly, we gained powders, taken from the heart of our mother.
You have butchered the creature whose flesh has never lived. You have gathered while traversing the deadly depths. You have tasted the sweetness of your enemy. You have taken powders from the heart of your mother.
You did not say them in the same order I did. You have no idea what order the Droracle gave them to us in, do you? Also, as a point, I do believe you can just leave at this point. But take the Crucible of Faith, because it has the Elixir in it.
We have the Elixir. We must find Richard quickly.
Indeed! Let us in fact go. For there is no reason for us to be here anymore. We have in fact done everything that we need to here. Well, I say everything. There is one more thing that we could go and do. Do you remember on the 3rd floor there was the door that declared to us that we had no faith and wouldn't open? That door will open now, because we now in fact have the Crucible of Faith, which means that it will now open, and we can get more loot. The only downside is we need to actually get to that loot, which involves going through this area. This area isn't... Hello, how are you? It's the Fireball Chickens! Fireball, no more. There we go. We need to make sure there aren't any more nearby that are just going to fire fireballs at us. Trust me, I would love to see the back of all of these... Ow! Okay, I would love to not show our back to all of those enemies, because that enemy just fired a fireball at us. There are worse enemies here in the game, but there aren't that many that are much worse than the ones here. They're pretty bad. Right. Let's get ready to fight our way through the 3rd floor. I think we're about as ready as we'll ever be, and also, as a random point, we no longer have Valen's Cube. Any enemies we fight, we're going to have to fight without Valen's Cube. So we're going to have to be very, very careful. Very. Oh, and there is an enemy right from the get-go. Hello! Fortunately, it's just one, and it was easily defeated. We need to be careful. We need to conserve all of our magic points. We also want to get to here. That might take a little bit of traversing. We want to take it a step at a time. We want to make sure there are no enemies coming around us. We also want to make sure we don't smash our head into anywhere where we could potentially give the enemy more time to surround us. This is giving me... Hello! No! This is giving me terrible, terrible memories of when we were in here before. Oh no! Terrible memories of previous attempts to get in. Oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. Okay, back out. This is kind of the problem. I used the wrong spell. That's really bad. I basically remember this as the previous attempts that... Oh no! Yeah, I expected this was a high chance that this might happen. Basically now, without having the Valen's Cube, you have to do this final part effectively, unless you kept a hold of the Valen's Cube, without the assistance of any, and I mean any, of the Valen's Cube's abilities. We could use the Wonder Fireballs here, actually. That was the snake 3 times. We're going to use the Wonder Fireballs. I think now is a good time to use... Oh, wow, that Wonder Fireballs had 1 use. This Wonder Fireballs has a few more uses. And this still might not be enough. Nope. This is going to be tricky. We just want the heal spell ready and raring to go. We also want that Fireball Wand ready and raring to go. Hello! Alright, we need to get some hits in, and we need some fireballs. We need more fireballs! This is why we have the wand. so that we can do this and hit them really hard and then still need to fight them. However, that has made it a little easier. A little easier. We're being hit by someone else, aren't we? There's one behind us. There's two behind. Oh! Fortunately, we have salves. This should be worth it. In theory. Okay, bring him back. Use him to bring Paulson back. Okay. That was tricky. We used both of the Wands of Fireballs. All of the charges on the Wands of Fireballs are gone. They are all gone. But we're still alive. Okay, we're still alive. And there's one. We can defeat one. We can defeat one Wraith. There we go. Carefully does it. Rest a little at a time. All of this, folks, for a little bit more loot. It's just a little more loot. But it is most certainly worth getting. That door has some pretty nice loot behind it. Also, if we find any more wraiths and apparitions, we're not going to be able to rely on those wands to save the day anymore. But this is the last time we'll encounter enemies as tough as this. Well, that's not strictly true, but it's the last time we'll encounter the wraiths. Hello, apparition. You are pretty easy to take care of. This door should now open for us.
Your faith warrants passage.
Marvellous! In here are 2 chests. You can only open one of them. And I don't remember what each one of them has in it. So I'm going to lockpick this one first and see if what we get is good. The other one has been destroyed. In here is Dwarvish Chainmail, which is exactly the same as the thing that we already have. And a Rapier Talon. And a Star Polaris.
Empty.
What about the other one? Because I don't remember what the other one has in it. But that was kind of rubbish, and really didn't make that journey worth it. Let's find those lockpicks again. In this one... Ah! Galanian Plate Mail. That is much better. It's the same as what Picard is wearing, which means it's actually the same as what he's wearing. But that, an Arbalist, I think is worth more than the Rapier. And the Great Axe Reaper is a lot worse than what we're currently using there. But we'll hold on to it.
Empty.
I believe that one is the better one. And also, we've now shown off what both of them have in them. We are done on this floor, which means that we are done with the White Tower in general. Hello! 1 Wraith and 1 Apparition. I hope that's all there is. I hope. We'll run if we need to. We have heal ready. Fortunately, we can now deal with those. That was good. There were a lot of wraiths that were blocking our entrance, weren't there? Hello! You didn't even know I was here. You were just minding your own business, but I'm afraid I had to defeat you, because I need to get out of here. Oh, I need to get out of here. No more wraiths, no more apparitions. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that was the end of... Hello! I wish I could say that we'd encounter no more undead, but there's one more instance where we will encounter them. Not for a little bit, though. Also, all the way through this, the crossbow that we have here has consistently been decent. Also, there is a wraith somewhere nearby, and we need to heal quite badly. In fact, I think discretion is the better part of valor here. Let's go! And by go, I mean leave. And by leave, I mean run away! Ah. No more wraiths. No more apparitions. That was maybe worth going for? The plate mail is exactly the same as the plate mail we had, but the axe, I think, is worth more than the throwing star. So, I think that was worth doing. Now let's go and get those items that we left in the sub-level, and then we'll make preparations to leave. Because actually there's not much more we need to do in this area at all. Let's grab this stick, though. We're not leaving without our stick. That stick has gone on many, many journeys, and it has one particular use that I'm thinking of saving it for. A very, very important final purpose. Trust me, it's worth the wait. So, here's the Wand of Death. That's why I wasn't so worried about using the Wands of Fireballs. There's a piece of loot, and there is another piece of loot. I don't think any of those actually have any particular purpose. Also, let's equip our normal weapons back. Now we can compare the axe that we got to the weapons that we're currently using. It's much worse, and it's much worse. Fair enough. It is much worse, but I imagine it's probably worth slightly more than the items we're currently using. And I just rammed my head into a wall. In fact, I'm heading completely the wrong way to get out of here. Exit is that away. Was that an enemy? Was that an archer slug? I thought there weren't any more of those. But we're right at the exit anyway. So, oh hello! I was right! Well, there's not one there anymore. So, when we come back, folks, we shall take the elixir over to Jaren, because I'm sure Jaren will be really helpful. I don't think Jaren's going to be helpful at all. Do you? I don't. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.